Hi, I'm Renata. I am from Winclap, Brazil. I'm head of sales operation. And today I will be moderating this conversation about retention and re-engagement for retail vertical. Let's see who are our speakers. We will have today with us Gustavo Galli from Google Brazil. He is managed the app partnerships. And we have a growth specialist here, Vitor Hirai, that will share his success history in retail and retention for Mobly. Vi, I think you can present Mobly e-commerce. Vitor, I think you can mention about Mobly for us. Can you hear us?
Sure. I was not able to unmute my mic. I was having some issues here. But yes, I'm Victor from Mobly. I'm the performance marketing manager here. Actually, at Mobly, we are seeing a huge growth. Today, we are something about 120% increase in sales on if we compare the same period on the last year. And as we are going to talk about conversion and app retention, I brought here some metrics about our conversion rate from app, which is 60% higher from the app. And it's just some metrics that I got here. And we are currently running with something like for 100 million monthly active users on both our apps. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Good.
Hi, Galli.
Yeah, hi. Hey, can you guys hear me well?
Yes. Could you tell a little about Google? Nobody knows Google.
Yeah. So guys, as you guys already presented me, but I've been working at Google for 5 years and 2 years specifically on apps. And when we talk about apps, you know, we've been trying to evolve a lot our campaigns. And I came up with this ranking actually, which was presented on the latest performance index in Appsflyer. So right now, Google ranks in the first place of both highest number of installs and quality of installs when you talk about app marketing space as a whole. As Renata said, maybe we don't have to present Google as a company. All of you guys may know us. But when we talk about apps, we are trying to, evolve a lot, and I thought about bringing this information for you guys would be useful.
Amazing. Thank you, Vi and Galli, to join us today. We hope to have a great moment. I need to mention that we had another guest that couldn't join us. Then we changed a little the style of our conversation in the last minute. Okay, about Winclap, for who doesn't know, we are agents around the world, especially in Brazil. We are working with several clients in Latin America. We have our own tech and artificial intelligence and machine learning to manage and execute our campaigns involving acquisition and retention. We can press. Before we start our conversation, I would like to share some numbers. 95% of the apps that are uninstalled in the first 30 days. What means? Means that only 5% of the users are retained. This shows that we need to take care of our retention. Every target drives 63 revenue uplift, 50% higher than UA alone. Definitely retention is a good way to maximize your revenue. 72% of users stop using an app 1 day after downloading. These data are from Appsflyer. Considering this information, Galli, I think you can share some trends from Google Studies for us about retail, and later we can maybe talk a little about ACE.
Okay, I'm not gonna mute me again because every time I try to unmute, I have to ask for permission. So sure, hey, I think we have people from all over Latin America here, so we're in English. But I first of all, I would like just to share my a personal history from myself with you guys before we join the content and all the data that I brought for you guys. So this is I've been running for 15 years now. I just turned 30, and something very interesting and surprising to me is happening across over the past few weeks on this quarantine. And as I think there are some runners in the audience, and so before the quarantine, I used to have this pace on my running up to this 6:30 minutes per kilometer. I'm a pretty standard runner, so this pace would be great for me. But after the quarantine and after we started to stay at home for more time, I started to run more and develop myself. And I would like to share with you guys the second screenshot actually, which is showing my pace of under 5 kilometers, 5 minutes per kilometer. But I'm sharing this not to show off. I'm sharing this with you guys to say that I'm very happy with my running. But I also see that there's a lot of a lot going on in the retail space, in the app space. In this is linked a little bit with my personal experience, because I think that what happened over the past few weeks and months in the retail ecosystem is pretty much an acceleration of consumer behavior and consumer sentiment to our shopping. And this is what I'm gonna show you guys right now. So these numbers that I brought for you guys is pretty much based on some research that we have been doing over the past few weeks to understand how this consumer behavior are changing, considering all this situation that we are living in, right? So we discovered that over 70%, 78% of people think that shopping at a mall, going to the mall to shop will change because of the COVID situation. Almost 50% of people say that things are changed and they're going to continue the same until the end of this situation. And what's really interesting is that 1/3 of these people that responded to our research, and this research we did like two months ago, so it's pretty new. So 1/3 of people think that things are not going to be the same ever again, right? So I'm not here to tell you guys what's right or wrong, but I definitely share this sentiment that something changed, and this new normal is not gonna be the same, our behavior and everything. So getting a little deeper on this data, these numbers, we found out that 91% of shoppers had their their shopping behavior impacted because of this new normal, new situation. We found out that 53% of the surveyed shoppers actually tried to shop for a new service for the first time. So people that never, order food to their homes, or never ordered a supermarket delivers to their home, have done, or people that never bought online are starting to do it. So things are changing, and are changing fast. 45% of people that bought online bought something that they never bought before. So they usually go to a shop to buy something else they bought for the first time online. And 42% of people that was surveyed in this research answered that they are trying to figure out if their stores are open or closed. So they're changing the way they approach going out of their houses. Um, you can go forward one slide. So just to complement a little bit, so behavior is changing. People are doing stuff that they never done before actually, and digital is present, right? So and digital is more important actually than ever. We found out that 74% spending are of more dollars spent online, right? So 74% higher spending in online channels if you compare to the same period of last year. When we talk about intention, which is something that Google we always try to bring to the table, what's the intention of the users. We are seeing a huge uplift on that as well, over 100% uplift in shopping behavior growth since the beginning of the pandemic, and 35% of people saying that online is their preferred, a shopping way to shop. The same research we did a couple months ago before the pandemic, and we used to see like numbers close to 16% or something like that. So a huge shift. Digital is present and is more important than ever, right? Going forward, uh, so changing behavior, changing how we shop, right? Digital is very important. Talking a little bit about retail, which is something that we proposed to do it today, right? And Vitor and Pedro and everyone that is there watching. We try to how it's gonna be this new normal. How consumers are gonna behave after this whole quarantine happens, right? And something that is very interesting is that in this next holiday shopping, season. So we have Black Friday coming up. We have Christmas coming up as well. So we're seeing that. I would like you guys to take a look at this first and second numbers here. So people are more interested in buying online, right? So 47% of people said that they're more interested going to buy online in this next holiday season, right? And when we talk about apps, especially, guys, we're seeing that 37% of the people that responded to our service said that they're gonna be more willing, to shop inside an app, which is pretty exciting for us. So as a retailer, you should think about ways to engage and to prepare yourself to this new trend that is coming up. I think when Vitor shares his experiences, he can share a little bit about what's going on, the trends that they're seeing inside Immobly as well. So we're gonna get deeper on that. Moving even further, a little bit more on apps and the motivation actually that we're seeing, why users actually download retail apps. We found out that 76% of the people, of the respondents, said that they download an app during the situation that we're in because of convenience, right? The same question when we used to do in last in past surveys, we used to see a lot of I've downloaded an app because of better prices, better promos, deals, and this kind of stuff. But now we're seeing convenience as the first thing that users that motivates users to download an app, right? And this, in my perception, is very exciting because convenience and experience comes very close, right? And this is why apps actually exist, right? To deliver a better experience than users and consumers would have in the web ecosystem, right? So this is very exciting. So gave you guys some numbers about our survey, some different consumer behavior that we are seeing. This number is very fresh and came from Appiani. Pretty much in every country, every market, we're seeing engagement with shopping apps growing, right? So they are looking at weekly sessions in shopping apps, but we can say it is engagement. And in every country, in every market that they did this survey, they understand. Actually, they gathered this data. This is actual data. They understand that the engagement surpassed holiday shopping levels. So in Brazil, for example, I put here the Black Friday is our biggest retail data, and during this period, the engagement is higher here. So people are more engaged in shopping apps, right? And the last data that I want to show you guys is actually downloads. And I brought here some other data comparing, of course, this period of this past 3 months that we are living in compared to the other 3 months before, and we are seeing across the board, across every market having these retail apps much more, a trend of uplift in every market. So Mexico and Brazil, for example, we're seeing 50%, 56 in Mexico, 49% of uplifting downloads for retail. Argentina and US over 20%. So to wrap this up in retail and start talking about engagement here, I know that we are very excited to talk about. What I wanted to show you guys is the behavior is changing. It's changing fast. It's accelerating, and is already happening. We should be able to do it ourselves as well, to fast this up as well. So my question to you guys is, what we can do to accelerate this change. And maybe now I'm gonna pass to Renata again, right?
Yes,
and then
thank
we can
you.
get a little further on, engagement and its strategies.
Thank you, Gali. Guys, as Gali shared with us several trends and insights about retail vertical, I would like to start a conversation with Victor about his live strategies for retention and retarget and re-engagement, obviously. Connecting this that Gali just mentioned about the impact of COVID, sure that I don't want that our conversation will be only about COVID once all the data are post-COVID, no? But let's start with this question. How COVID changed behavior impacted your retarget strategy and creatives?
Okay, just giving an overview about the COVID for our vertical, especially. As we saw from Gali, shopping behavior has risen, especially for online on these last few months. When we saw this kind of increase for something like middle April, on March we were kind of scared because we didn't know about how the market was going to operate. Sales started to actually perform pretty low, but it was a huge change that we had here as April, May, and the months after that, we started to operate something like almost like a Black Friday for every month. So especially for our vertical, which I didn't mention it before, but we work as a commerce platform. We do have some other properties such as physical stores and also the channel app. But this whole pandemic brought us a huge increase in sales as our furniture market was really pulverized on offline sales. Like the penetration line was not that really big, and as we offered started as a e-commerce platform, we were really prepared for this surprise on e-commerce. And especially talking about the behavior that we had here for retargeting and strategies to re-engage for app, we started to focus on messages that could bring people, bring us, our customers, some kind of relief, especially when we see the pricing on some categories, such as home office furniture. So one of the main strategies to price the app sales or even the web sales was to focus on categories that were performing pretty well. And also we try to deliver some messages according to our fast delivery. So we work as with some product stocks, so we can deliver products to our consumers in like 7 days for some products. And that was the main question that a lot of customers were giving to us, which is, are you guys working properly on the delivery system? Your logistics are working? Can you guys deliver to my home? And that's what we focused after all the COVID, and this messaging creatives started to work better for us.
Fantastic. Then means that was positive, the COVID situation for Mobly, no?
Yes, sure. It was surprisingly good for us. And as I said, for sales, it's been a huge growth that we had. And also, I guess for all the online shoppers, it's been good because online shopping started to get even more on the Brazilian life. And the whole online market is increasing, and every retailer maybe is being kind of accelerated for this whole pandemic.
Hey,
Gali.
can I just ask a follow-up, because I'm very interested on that.
And I would like to ask you to do exactly this. Amazing. Thank you, Gali, to try anytime.
Vitor, are you guys talking already about how if this trend is gonna keep up? How are you guys, preparing for the whole opening situation? Just
sure.
Curious.
Sure. We do not expect that the market stay as high as we were on July or early this month. As things are starting to come back, as some things like, especially here in São Paulo, we try and locate it. Some stores are still opening, but this pandemic, I saw that brought some more confidence to people to buy online, and that's the market that we are penetrating even more right now, especially for the furniture side. And I think that this is some for some part that we will not lose this kind of market of people buying online right now. But we expected some down here on sales on the next few months. That's why we are going to a strategy on trying to leverage our physical stores initiatives. So as pricing for locations is getting a little bit lower right now, we can afford to try to grow even more on physical side besides our online side, and also help us to develop even more our omnichannel whole system. So that's a huge opportunity that we have here. We expect some kind of down on the sales, but we are preparing that with any other front lines that could help us to generate much more sales.
Thank you, V. V, when you started acquiring users to the app, no? What impact did you notice in terms of active users and user engagement?
Sure. I guess that when we started, we didn't know much about user acquisition for app and user retention for app. And on the first beginning, when we started for the user acquisition, we didn't have any user engagement campaigns. That was not a complementary strategy that we have run. As we started the user acquisition campaigns, we saw a huge increase on installs, but we were not having enough data to complement with the engagement strategy. Now that we are kind of pretty mature on the side, we are running both campaigns, either to acquire more customers, either to retain more people that we already spent to acquire.
Great. And today, what you could tell us as your North Star metric for re-engagement strategies, and how did you go about defining this as your key objective?
Okay. We don't have just one North Star metric here. We do have three main metrics for app that we start to see. The first one that I could say is a CAC recovery, which is our lifetime value over our customer acquisition per cohort. So that's one of the metrics that that is based on our web efforts to retain, our app efforts to retain our customers. The second one is the CIR, which is the cost income ratio. It's translated as the inverse of the ROI. And we use this metric as a kind of constraint, kind of a limitant to our campaign efforts. And this guides us to a performance for either acquisition and retention. And the third one, especially for retention and engagement on app, is a metric that we call stickiness, which is a ratio between daily active users and monthly active users. And it mainly translates our growth efforts to engage people even more than just the purchase from our app. That's the three main metrics that we end up seeing.
Okay, CAC in this case, just remember here.
Yep.
CAC, LTV.
CAC recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, CAC recovery. It's
and
the rate between CAC recovery.
And your customized metric. No?
Yes,
I got it.
Customized stickiness.
Fantastic. Let me think here. What signs did you take in consideration to start investing more in user acquisition and retarget for your app? Okay.
Sure. As we pass it through this on the first slides for according to Mobley, on app, on average, we see a difference of about 60 to 80% on conversion rate. If you compare that for traffic that we are generating to our mobile web version. So if everyone who is generating a session on the mobile web version could do the session on the app, we would double the sales for all this traffic that we are generating right there. So the main signal that we have here is definitely conversion rate. Conversion rate is even higher on app because personalization is even better there. All the quicker app responses are better for us also, and all the funny stages are with less friction to a customer to lead to a buy.
Okay, interesting. And I was thinking here, when you set targets for your paid re-engagement strategies, how do you choose the actions, and what are the focus to optimize your campaign to drive higher ROI?
Okay, so For targets, we actually set them according to our business plan and growth plan at Mobily. So we do have a growth expectation for the targets that we want to achieve, and that's our metric that we start to develop other metrics between that. So apart from revenue and profit margin, I can get some hypotheses on sessions, on conversion rate, on each device or each campaign that we should be focusing right now, and that sets us up to the targets that we have here. When we start to see on how can we optimize all these conversions, we use these targets as a target to reach, and we start to think on all our campaigns that we could reach there. We always, as I said, we always are focusing on CIR, which is how much we spend to generate a sale here. And when we start a campaign, we always tend to reach this target on CIR and start to grow the campaign. So we can some kind of see the elasticity on these campaigns and see how much we can invest even more. And how much can we change on the performance side after we reach a maximum on this elasticity for each campaign. We start to see other variables such as changing creatives, changing placements, changing audiences, just to see how can we increase even more the performance of these already automated and smarted campaigns.
Okay, let me see if I understood. I think I understood most of the parts, no? But you use your SEER, no? Your limitants together with your attribution to do your budget allocation with more value for your campaigns to illustrate your performance, no? Testing creatives, audience, and placement. Did I understand well? Okay, thank you. It was kind of complex. Thank you, V. Hey guys, if you are seeing the webinar and want to send us some questions, we have 10 minutes at the end that we can ask extra questions for V, independent of this conversation that we are having now. V, and do you think you can share some use case for each of your implemented re-engagement strategies, like activation or cross-sell, churn, prevention? And okay. And maybe, sorry, I'm just thinking here, I think live, if there is any killer strategy to re-engage with your most valuable users, what can you share with us? I know that you can share everything.
Here in marketing, we actually work pretty close to our product team, which is our, maybe we are kind of being a growth team together, in which we depend on them to lead to even more engagement. For killer strategies in the commercial purpose, I guess that one of the best strategies and best cases that we have here is definitely the app offer only. So we do have some product offers that only happens on the app. Weekly, we update all this catalog for this commercial value, and it's pretty good either for acquiring new people and either for retaining people on the app, as we always update this list. And for our product efforts, I guess that the main line that we have here when we think about re-engage is how can we complement all the buying journey of people who are looking for furniture on the app. So we implemented some some features that could help people to help the buy process. So for e-commerce furniture, people have some challenges on seeing how the product would be fit at their home. That's why we implemented some kind of a VR 3D modeling that you can plot some products on your home. And we do have some other features such as search by images. So if you upload a picture about a furniture that you like, we can bring you some recommendations on lookalike products on our app. So the main strategy here for engagement is giving people the product that they want and the product that they would use to always use your app and retain your app. That's I would say that's the main killer strategy, which is how can we perform better with our product team, market team, and iterate that loop out together.
Hey, I think there's a question here as well from actually Marlon asked a little bit about new product lines that you guys discovered with the COVID, but this is something that maybe we can talk later since we're talking about engagement. Valeria asked how you measure elasticity of the campaigns, Victor. I think this is a good topic.
Perfect. Perfect.
You know, the engagement campaigns have some kind of,
I have an idea. What do you think about we leave 15 minutes for question, and maybe Gali can share a little because the conversation is going so well. I would like to stay more 30 minutes at least talking with Victor, but I think we don't have time. Gali, could you share us some tips from Google's side how retailers can accelerate this change as well? And then we can go for the answers for the people. If we have more time, we come back because I was listening here and I was thinking about several other aspects, but the audience is engaging a lot as well. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, let's do this. So Victor, keep in mind this question, right? To answer Valeria afterwards.
Think about, be prepared for it.
I already have the answer here.
Ooh. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for making the bridge here. I already thought about the tips and brought for you guys talking about retention and engagement. This is, I try to figure out a way to be very straightforward and to put in topics, what I think is good for you to think about engagement and retention of your user base. By no means this is extension, so you should have more stuff to do, but these are the main topics that I think. So have a great onboarding and always A/B test. What I mean by that is the first impression is what lasts, right? So if you show the value of your app up front, maybe don't think a lot about the friction that you could have in your app that could scare the users in the first place. So maybe don't obligate your user to sign up or to sign in or to answer a lot of questions, and always A/B test. You have many tools to try to A/B test. We do have, at Google Firebase, for example, is a free tool that you can use to do these tests and make sure users resonate more with one interface or other. So this is my first, tip. The second one would be related to push notifications. Maybe Victor, you can talk a little more about that afterwards. But I see segmenting audiences on push notifications as key to engage your users outside the app. So don't waste your user time actually with random messages. If your user base is not made up of the same kind of people and the same kind of usage. So if you build custom audiences, and I put here Firebase because it's a tool that we use and it's free, so you can do it to set targets and give the right message to the right user. This is something that is really could help you to engage your user base. And the last but not least, the third tip, that I have to give, and I've been giving to our customers at Google, and it resonates with what Victor was telling about the starting engagement campaigns, starting to do retargeting is also, start to do engagement campaigns with us, with Google. I am not gonna go deeper on that, on that the tactical stuff. But if you move forward, just one slide I just put here just to give you guys a sense on how it works real quick for us to discuss more in the Q&A. But app campaigns for engagement is a beta at Google. You can unlock this feature to help your users rediscover your app. This is animated, so whoever is helping me out with the presentation, yeah, go two more, please. So you can help your users rediscover your app. So think about a user who downloaded your app but never opened it, and users who is inactive, users who have not converted, and we can go forward, thinking about what kind of user we can, target with this kind of campaigns. The early results that we're receiving from our customers are very exciting, but I have to emphasize that this is a beta, right? So you should talk to your account manager at Google to make sure you can unlock that. And just to wrap it up, I think there's just one more slide here. We have 3 requirements to be part of the beta of this retarget campaign at Google. Maybe in other channels you have other requirements, but at Google you have to have deep linking for us to understand which part of the app the user has to be driven to, right? So this is very important. Audience as well. I told you about what kind of audiences a little bit you can use in this campaign. We recommend that these audiences have at least 250K device IDs. So the list of users should be good enough for us to target them, right? And measurements, as any app campaigns at Google, we work very much with machine learning, and all of this intelligence just has to be unlocked by measurement, right? So you have to have measurement done. It doesn't matter if it is in a third party, attribution partner, Adjust, Java, Adjust, you name it, or on Firebase. So with the 3 requirements, you're good to go. As I said, we're seeing great results with our customers, and maybe Victor can talk a little more about the campaigns that they're running, not only at Google, Victor, but I know that you guys are running engagement campaigns with other channels as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm open to answer any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Gali, for sharing. I think we see the importance of the deep links, to direct the user straight to the point of conversion. When you mentioned that is one of the requirements, and the amount of active users, to make sense. Okay, I think, guys, we maybe can answer all the questions that we have. Then if we have more time, I have other questions that I would like to ask, considering what Gali just shared, if we have time. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, okay, sure. Just answering Gali's question about the other campaigns that we do run here. We try to work with the full funnel for people that gives us a little sign of engagement for the first sign to purchase. It's discovery, or when I talk about discovery, it's something about search on our properties, doing a add to wish list product, or using our 3D feature to plot the product, or even doing a image search, as I said, on our feature. That's our first line of consideration. And as we see these kind of action, as Gali said, we have to use some some partners or even Firebase to help us to understand all these events and share with our media partners. But as we start to use that, we can perform even better for our engagements and working with our constraints, which is the CIR and the targets of profit margin and revenue. So we try to replicate that for every partner and platform that we can run apps. That's a pretty complementary strategy, doing all other platforms that you can work with. And yeah, I guess that the best kind of creative that we run here is definitely the product ads, the dynamic product ads, which is focused pretty much on product. As Mobly work with a huge portfolio and lower prices, this kind of creative lead us to pretty good CTR and good consideration for people to come back to the app and to engage. And also, we must use that linked with our deep linking process. It's a must to have on our site. The deep linking is the main star for our engagement here because, as I said, we work with a huge portfolio product. As I said, also our app efforts our app funnel has a greater conversion rate. So if I can lead people that are interested in a product from our ads directly into my app, that's a killer strategy, and there's huge chances that this customer is going to end up converting for all these ads.
And how I'm gonna have to ask this question. Hey, I'm sorry, because when we activate,
you already asked what I was thinking. Don't worry now.
Yeah, but when we activate clients on and we start talking about deep linking, it's kind of, especially with hybrid clients, that have the websites and the app. These conversations are kind of get a little, how would I say, difficult in terms of technical stuff, right? So how would you say that we can work with the dev team to develop this deep linking, and how was in Mobly's case, right? How was it? It was really difficult? Was okay? How would you rate that?
Sure. As I said, here in Mobly, we on marketing work pretty close to the product team. As I said, a properly growth marketing or growth team has to sync marketing with product. So as we knew that we needed to lead people to the right path or to the right context when they click an ad or interact with our platforms, we saw deep linking as one of our main priorities to implement on the app, and that's what we aimed for. We read a lot about how to implement that. We of course failed on first tests, and it was not that easy to implement, but as we implemented, it helped us a lot to increase our sales, especially on app, and our other product listing ads that we run could perform pretty well with all this implementation.
Hey, I think we should get the questions from Valeria and Marlon, maybe, right?
Definitely.
So go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Do you have them there? Or?
Yeah. About the product lines, we definitely see a different pattern of purchase between this last season. Some actually the main the main products that are uprising definitely is home office products. So there's some lines such as standing desks that we kind of trying to aim for right now. I can't talk much about which products we are looking for, but that's one of the products that is uprising right now. Definitely better office chairs for people, and definitely gaming chairs are one of the verticals that are increasing in consideration. So we always try to open up our portfolio, and this new normal brought us new verticals to work with. And about the elasticity of campaigns, we do have a record about how much we were running on bids for each campaign that we run. We do have a proprietary attribution model here that we can speak all the languages when we try to measure all the channels. We know the start how much we were running on the targets or the bids that we were running on certain campaign, and the results that this campaign was returning to us as a CIR or a profit margin. And we try to leverage or changing budgets on these campaigns to see how these campaigns going to perform the next few days. And that's how we start to kind of do reach to a linear line on the elasticity of how much can we stretch a campaign, on how much we can invest more on that, and it can absorb that investment with performance. That's not a complex method that we do here, but it's been working pretty well for us.
Okay, I think we answered the questions. If you have more questions, the audience can ask us via chat. We have 6 minutes. During these 6 minutes, I would like to do final considerations. From my side, guys, you mentioned what I got, and I would like that V and Gali can do a final consideration as well. I see that retargeting is an effective way to increase in-app revenue. We saw in this webinar that retarget with relevant and personalized content, DPA products, as Vitor was mentioning, the dynamic retarget and limited offers for specific time can be very relevant. And the importance of the deep links, to direct the user straight to the point of conversion. I need to ask one more thing once we have time about incrementality tests. V, could you share with the audience how are you working?
Yeah, sure. Actually, incrementality tests is what we are trying to look for right now. We are not. We are trying to run some kind of tests and see how much can we leverage on all other display campaigns and acquisition campaigns. As I said, we do have a proprietary attribution model that considers only sessions and of people on the app, but we can consider something like interactions with our ads on the platform, such as impression or other level of view. And uplift tests could help us a lot on how can we include the impression level to our attribution and do better investments from our side. We are currently running actually a conversion lift test with Winclap. Gonzalo, which is our account manager here, is helping us a lot on this side. We don't have a fully completed test right now, but the preliminary results that we are seeing here is pretty good. We are pretty excited to see the whole test for the incrementality that we are running right now.
Thank you, V, and for sure we will continue working together in these tests. Gali, V, if you want to continue with your final consideration for the webinar.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that the final consideration that I have here is if you're working as a growth team on any other company, growth means working pretty well your marketing team and your product team to develop strategies to leverage all your full funnel strategies, such as acquisition and retaining people. So if I would give just this final consideration is work together with your product team that you can, and then you can start to grow even more your business and know all the levers that you can use to increase your acquisition method or your retention method also.
Thanks, V. And Gali, you want to leave your final considerations?
Yeah, 100% agree with Vitor. Actually, we see, we touch a lot of retailers here in our team in apps, you know, and we see a huge difference between companies that can work together, marketing products, you know, and any other areas of the company together to make with this KPI of growth, right? We are all the companies are looking for growth, and when they work together, it's much better. But my final considerations is actually I would like to thank you guys. Thank Winclap for inviting us, and we're doing this kind of things together. I think is a way for us to learn together, right? I really like the approach that Vitor had on new product lines, you know, discovering what's happening in this situation that we are in and how we are gonna align on our next steps as a company. Like to see him talking about stickiness as a way for them to understand the retention of users. But from my point of view, from Google's point of view, I think to raise awareness that something really interested to happen in the past couple of months, and something that really changed consumer behavior. And talking about apps, I'm very excited to see a bunch of new retailers that never thought about having an app coming to the ecosystem and changing it with us. So thanks for having me here. And Victor, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Gali. Thank you for sharing many insights and trends. Thank you, V, for sharing a lot of knowledge, you know, and strategy. I know that you didn't share all the KPIs, but I think the amount of knowledge that you shared today was very special for retail segments. And thank you for the audience that is with us. Thank you for the questions. And see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.